remember, God will never take anything away from you without the intention of replacing it with something better. We do have those seasons. For example, I live in Alberta, okay? And in this part of my country, we have 4 seasons. Now, we're kind of in the season between winter and summer. Today actually is, of course, the first day of spring. Now, where I am right now, there's still snow on the ground, but there is some signs of spring. For example, the robins have decided to come back, and over this weekend, we're going to see our temperatures in Canada. We, of course, go by Celsius, so we'll see about 4 or 5 degrees, which is basically in the low 30s to the, low, I should say top 30s to the low 40s. Okay. So it will be not too bad. I'm going to actually see people walking around in shorts. My grandson does that of all things. I have 2 grandsons who actually wear shorts in this type of weather. Anyway, we are we find ourselves in seasons. Like, for example, when you're in the spring, it's the growing season. My son, for example, right now is in the midst of his calving season and his lambing season. And in about a month, he's going to be heading out into, of course, the fields to sow his crops. And so it's a very busy time for him. Then we go into the summer season, and of course the summer season is beautiful flowers and wonderful, trees and sunshine and warm. I love summer because it gets me out on my bike and I really enjoy that. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy type situation. And then of course we have as well the fall season, and here in Canada the fall season is absolutely spectacular. It really is. And then we're back into the winter season where it's cold and windy and snowy. And we had some of that weather, really heavy weather like that in February, where we had basically 3 weeks where it was just cold. But now we're kind of on the spring season. I'm not sure what season you are in today, but I want you to know that if the Lord puts you in that season, there's a reason for it. And the question that you need to ask yourself is, okay, how can I react to this situation? And, Lord, keep me, with the right attitude, because if you're taking something away from me, I have to believe, and by faith, I know that you're going to replace it with something better. Paul said all things work together for good. Doesn't mean all things that we face are good, but we have to remember the great philosophical thought from Mark Lowry: this too shall pass. And so that's my simple encouragement for you today. Whatever season you find yourself in, understand this: God is there with you. And God has already got an answer. God has already got a solution. One of my favorite stories in the Bible is the story of Daniel. Daniel has been waiting for an answer for 21 days. No answer. He started praying 21 days ago, and he was looking for an answer. Finally, the angel Gabriel shows up and says, Daniel, I want to tell you something. I was on my way, but there was a bit of a hindrance. But now I'm here, and I want you to know that even before the request was out of your mouth, the answer was already on the way. So it's on the way. Sometimes it gets delayed. Sometimes you don't like the answer, especially if God says no. I was thinking of the story of the Apostle Paul. When he wanted to go off into Asia, and the Lord said, no Asia for you. I want you to go to Europe. And Paul was, okay, I'll go to Europe. That's what I wanted. That's what you want, then that's what I'm going to do. And it became a successful adventure. The simple fact is, if God says no, there's a reason. If God says yes, you like that. And if God says wait a while, that's a tough one, because we live in a microwave society where we want things instantly, and it doesn't always happen that way. I'm not sure what your season is, but I'm going to give you a little scripture to think about. It's Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. And it simply says, trust the Lord with all your heart. Don't lean to your own understanding. Simply acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. God's got something better in store for you. You have to believe that. You have to walk by faith, because it was James who said simply this: sometimes we have to walk by faith and not by sight. Paul said the same thing as well. So let's walk by faith. And remember, there's a wonderful scripture I'm going to close with today. And it's simply this. It's 1 Corinthians 13:13. It says, these three remain. These are the three things that remain after everything has been, basically blown away or, taken away. Faith, hope, and love. Now, love says, you know what? We're going to make it. There's an anchor in your life. Faith says, absolutely, I believe in love. And then hope stands up and says, you know what? Because of the love, because of faith and that trust, I believe that we have a future. That's what hope says. So stand on that today. A little thought for you today. No matter what season you find yourself in, put your trust in the Lord and you'll be surprised at the results. A little thought for you today. My name is Robert Dean Steele. If you like what you've been hearing and seeing, then I encourage you to press the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel.